Hey everyone, Curtis Ray here. It is November 10th at noon, Arizona time, about 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Pacific. So right now we're gonna do a live Q&A session. As always, you guys can send me anything you want to ask regarding personal finance, retirement planning, compound interest, all of the above, where this time is set aside for you. So feel free to ask away. A few things before we start. I can't get to every single question. We get hundreds of questions, so I try to get to every single one I possibly can. If I do not get to your question, feel free to send it to me in DM on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, anywhere that you're located or anywhere that you're connected with me. Send me a direct message and I will try to contact you later as soon as this thing is over. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. A lot of these videos are going to be put on YouTube. So if you want to watch this recorded version of live Q&A on November 10th of 2020, it will be on YouTube. Also, you're going to see a bunch of little banners going across the bottom on how you schedule one-on-one with an MPI certified advisor, how you visit our websites, how you learn more stuff. So we already have a question? We are ready to rock and roll.
Jacob Downs from Instagram asked, why is this better than a 401k?
Why is this better than a 401k? The problem with a 401k is that it is a pretty good investment. You know, they're good. They're inside of S&P 500 index funds and mutual funds and ETFs and all those other great things out there. However, they are terrible retirement plans. The reason being is a 401k is designed like this. So it is really fast in the beginning. It's going to make you around 10% rate of return on average in the beginning. However, when you get to around 50 years old, traditionally something really bad happens in a 401k and IRA. They slow down. They start converting some of your stocks into more conservative things such as bonds. And now by 55, you're making 8% on average. By 60, you're making 6% on average. And when you finally get to retirement, Armageddon happens inside these policies. They typically convert to a 50% stocks, 50% bonds. I'll put it right here, 50-50, which is only producing around 4% interest. So ultimately, when you go to retire, your account is only replenishing or producing around 4% interest, and that is where the 4% rule comes from. If you don't know what the 4% rule is, I highly recommend you read about that, because your retirement income is based on how much income or how much interest you're producing inside your account. So let's just say you have $1 million in your account. $1 million. Your 401k and IRA will only produce around $40,000 of income. You're a millionaire and barely living above poverty, because the 401k and IRA were never designed as retirement plans. They are investment plans. Never mix your investments with your retirement. Next question.
And then a guy from TikTok says, I'm 36 years old. I have $75,000 in my 401k and another $40,000 in my savings. Should I move my money, and how do I do so?
36. Okay, we're going to go to my calculator real quick. Okay, we're going to my calculator as soon as my guy changes it to the calculator page. So 36 years old, he has, what did you say, 75,000, 60,000?
75,000 in his 401k and then 40,000 in his savings. That
is $115,000. If you were able to take your money right now, there are some things we can and can't do with money inside 401ks, IRAs, index funds, mutual funds, all this stuff, but there are a lot of things we can do. So meet up with an MPI certified advisor. He can break down your situation, see what everything's going on, and then we're going to build it. So check this out. If you were to take your $115,000 right now and get it into the MPI system, by 60 years old, look at that cash value right there. Up to $1 million in cash value. And more importantly, a retirement income of up to $118,000 every single year for the rest of your life, tax-free, on a single contribution of $115,000 put into the MPI system. And so if you were to put in more money inside that, let's just say you're a good saver, obviously, and you start adding $500 a month into that, now you're up to around $172,000 by 60 years old. Let's just say you wanted to retire by 50. Still around $70,000 of tax-free retirement income. So meet up with a one-on-one with an MPI certified advisor. To do that, go to calendly.com MPI. You can see it right there on the screen right there. Schedule one-on-one, or go to the link in my bio. All my bios have these links on how you schedule one-on-one, how you subscribe to my YouTube channel, how you get more information, more videos, all that other good stuff about financial planning. Next question.
BB and Baby from Instagram. Where do you start with an with a compound account for toddlers? I'm AZ based and do not know where to start.
Well, if you're Arizona, you can always come to my office. So our office is in Gilbert, Arizona, downtown Gilbert, Arizona. Anyone come visit us. We've had a lot of people from out of state that actually fly in just to meet us and really get the full experience when it comes to setting up a compound interest account. But if you're in Arizona, come meet us in Gilbert, or go right here on the screen, schedule one-on-one, www.calendly.com/MPI, or go to the links in my bio and you can schedule one-on-one there, and we will help you build your account first. Your account comes first. Building your personal adult compound account is number one priority, and then with any excess money, we will build your children's account.
Cliff Tread Jr. from TikTok asked, when am I allowed to take the money out of the MPI?
MPI is no restrictions, no penalties, no fees to access your cash value. So if you want to retire early, get on it. Yesterday I did a video for a nurse who was 36 years old, and I made the claim that if you have a 2-income household, so husband and wife are both working, and you can just start putting money in quickly, how long would it take to have a 6-figure retirement? So let's check it out. 36 years old, she made $50,000 a year, and could save $500 a month, $50,000 a year. I said take all your money and set it aside in the MPI Secure Compound Interest Account, and then use your husband's income to live off of. And look how long it took. I believe it was 11 years. Let's see. Oops, that's annually. So look at that. In 11 years, by saving $50,000 a year, 11 years, all of her income went to their retirement plan, all his income went to their living, was able to have a 6-figure retirement tax-free income within 11 years. So no restrictions, no penalties. Build your own retirement plan how you want it.
AirBUSA321 from TikTok asks, if I don't plan on getting married or having kids, is MPI really the best route for me?
Absolutely, because the life insurance policy is just the vehicle. You want the vehicle that drives the best, regardless of all of the other things and features and all that other stuff. So MPI not only will produce superior income because it's designed correctly, MPI is designed like this. So it starts off a little bit slower, between 6 and 8% out of the gate. And then it gets faster and faster. In about 10 years is when these two meet on their rate of return. And then MPI gets up to 15% rate of return. This is even after the cost of insurance. The insurance is just the vehicle. But through that vehicle, you get guaranteed security against market risk. You get increased growth potential even above the stock market. You get tax advantages. Your MPI plan is like a Roth IRA on steroids. You don't have the low limits of $6,000 a year. You can put in up to 100% give or take of your annual salary. So you make $100 grand a year, you can put up to $100 grand a year, 50, $1 million a year. You don't have those traditional limits. You get the tax advantages. Not exposed to capital gains tax. So all my real estate clients out there, all the real estate guys, MPI is not exposed to capital gains tax. And then ultimately you can retire at the age you want. 401k and IRAs, you can't even retire to your 59.5 anyway. MPI, you can do it much faster, much better, and tremendously more retirement income.
Chris Babs from YouTube. 1. How is the annual retirement income dispersed? And second, after you die, can the policy be given to your spouse or child?
So I just did a video today called the RELOC, Retirement Equity Line of Credit. That is how we disperse retirement income. Why? Because A, it is 100% tax-free. B, it allows for your money to continue to compound, continue to make money even on the money you're spending inside of retirement. So when you get to retirement, we set it up that you get some type of monthly distribution, tax-free, and you go on to it. The second question, can it be transferred? It is a life insurance contract, so it cannot be transferred to another person. However, the money is distributed to your beneficiaries tax-free. So that is why it's important to set up plans for you, your spouse, your kids, etc. So when you were to pass away, hopefully at a rightful age of 90 years old or something like that, then that money can roll over into existing MPI accounts. If you didn't already have the MPI account set up, it becomes more complicated. So that's why we want to set one up for everyone. And then when one person does happen to pass away at a, like I said, an old age, then that money can be dispersed inside of those compound accounts and maintain compounding. That's why I say always be compounding.
Don's House 101 from TikTok says, I'm 57 and I have 450,000 in my 401k. What should I do with it?
57. Let's just say you want to be retired by 65. You have $400,000 in your 401k. And let's just say you're probably saving, if you have that much money in your 401k, you're probably saving, let's just call it $1,000 a month. So if we can get that money compounding right now, and in less than 8 years, we can produce roughly around $75,000 of tax-free retirement income. There are some limitations on what we can and can't do with your 401k before the age of 59 and a half. At 59 and a half, it's your money. You can do what you want with it. But at that point in time, if we can get that money, let's actually put it down at $325,000, somewhere around that, because you are going to have taxes that you have to pay in a 401k. So it looks, we could probably produce around a $60,000 tax-free retirement income by 65 years old, plus you'll have Social Security at that point in time. So now your retirement is around $85,000 a year, which is pretty rock star on $325,000 of net plus $1,000 a month, and in around 8 years from now. So once again, to meet up on a one-on-one with an MPI certified advisor, please go to right here, calendly.com/MPI, or go to any of the links in my bios. You can find how to schedule a one-on-one with an MPI certified advisor. And one thing to note, we are backlogged about 2 months right now. We've had over 500 people reach out to schedule on one-on-ones and set up their MPI accounts. So we have recently certified 35 financial professionals across the country to be MPI certified advisors also. So that time frame is going to shorten, but right now go on there, schedule a time in January, unfortunately, and someone will reach out to you to reschedule at a sooner time. So I know you're going to look at them and be like, whoa, I can't get in for 2 months, but we will get to you sooner and help you schedule a one-on-one.
Marlene Fitness CrossFit from Instagram asks, what's the minimum amount to start an MPI account?
Typically for a child, it's around $100 a month. And for an adult, I'm going to erase this. I'm going to tell you how to do an adult. Here are the minimum commitment levels in order to produce maximum results inside of MPI. 100 times your age. So if you take your age right now, let's just say you're 30 years old, times that by 100, your minimum commitment to get the full value of MPI needs to be around $3,000 annually, $250 a month. If you're 40 years old, it's about $4,000 annually. If you're 20 years old, about $2,000 annual. It should be more than that if you have more than that. But right here is how we achieve a thing called max funded. Max funded means full efficiency of your money. Anything less than that, you still want to start. Let's just say you're 30 and you can only do $200 a month. So that equals $2,400 a year. We still want to start. We never don't want to start. But we are a little bit underfunded. We can catch up later. It's better to start even underfunded, but to have full maximum efficiency, 100 times your age.
Erica Dow from TikTok asked, I have so many rollover 401k accounts just sitting there uninvested. I'm 40. What should I do?
Meet up with an MPI certified advisor. They can look at it, see what's available. There are a lot of different things you can and can't do with 401ks. We need to make sure we're compliant and follow all the rules. But there are a lot of things you can do right now to accelerate your compound interest and accelerate your retirement income. So please go right here at www.calendly.com/MPI or any of my links in my bios, and you can schedule a one-on-one, and we'll see what we can do to build your best compound interest future.
We have 5 in queue. Supermat33 from TikTok asks, can your MPI accounts vary, as in put $200 in one month or $300 the next?
So MPI accounts are on 1-year contracts, meaning you're going to do a commitment for 1 year. You do have some flexibility inside that year if you were to lose your job, and we can freeze the account for 90 days. But every year on your year, we can adjust it. So let's just say right now you come to me and say, Curtis, I have $300 a month I want to do. $300 a month. And then at 6 months from now, you got a big bonus of $10,000. You come to me and say, Curtis, I want to put it in right now. I'm going to tell you to take that $10,000 and go put it in a savings account. And on day 366, on your anniversary date, then we'll adjust your contract to put the $10,000 in. So it's once a year, we're going to do a commitment, 365 days, and we can adjust it once a year.
Owen Sam 15 asked, I have $50,000 in debt and 4 kids. I'm trying to save, but it's difficult to say the least. What should I focus on paying?
You should pay the absolute minimums to your debt, and then take the maximum amount of money left over and get it into a compound interest account for the next 3 years. If you can focus over the next 3 years to put as much money away to your compound interest account as possible, and then we're going to start tackling your debt. Everything's backwards that you hear from financial influencers and Dave Ramsey and stuff like that. They're completely backwards because your number one most important asset or benefit that you have inside a compound interest is time. So if you can start right now and get a compound interest account rolling and then go focus on other things, it will continue to roll for you. And then we'll knock out everything else and then we'll come back to it. But you've got to get the snowball rolling. Push the snowball down the hill and then it will start rolling by itself. But so yeah, meet up with an MPI certified advisor. Let's look at your debt. Let's see what is the good debt, the bad debt, and how we get your compound interest rolling. And then we're going to build a plan on how you tackle it after 3 years of full commitment into your compound interest account.
Lando from TikTok asked, are returns guaranteed? And if so, how?
Returns are not guaranteed because we're based inside the S&P 500 index. But what is guaranteed is a really amazing thing called 0% floor. You have a contractual guarantee that your account value will not lose money because the stock market plummets. So every 3 out of every 10 years is some type of a negative return inside the S&P 500. But inside of MPI, you are guaranteed that your account value will not go down because of the stock market. So you have a 0% floor. Then we allow the market to go do its business. We love the market. We want to make a lot of money in the market, but we need a safety net. We need a freeze inside that account every single time it wants to go down because the market plummets. So that is your guarantee. Then we're in the market S&P 500, and doing that, we're going to average around 7% out of the gate. And then through a lot of other features inside of MPI, this will increase up to 15% over time.
Adventure Hunting Chuck asked, so what is the downside to an NPI account?
There are 2 major downsides. Any secure compound interest account, if you give it enough time, will produce amazing results. So it will produce amazing results if you give it enough time. But there are 2 downsides to MPI. One, you have to qualify for it. About 10% of all applicants right now are being denied because of health concerns. It is a life insurance contract. So things like DUIs, cancer, severe depression, those type of things could disqualify you from an MPI account. Secondly, it takes time. It is not a get rich quick. You have to give it time to mature. The sooner you start, the better results down the road. But if you're trying to look for crazy results in the first 5 or 10 years, it's not an MPI. MPI is a retirement account that's going to produce awesome results. After about 7 to 10 years, it starts snowballing and will outperform basically anything else in the market.
F1 Nate from YouTube. You said infinite banking and whole life insurance is one of the worst things to do. Why?
Not one of the worst, it is the worst. Single worst program ever designed in the history of mankind is a thing called infinite banking. Bank on yourself, be your own bank. Absolutely stupid. Sorry for all those who have it. I'm going to explain something real quick. Infinite banking, typically, you go put your money in a product called a whole life. Whole life by itself is not terrible, it's mediocre. It's going to give you a dividend of around 5% guaranteed. So whole life is this really, we'll call it an inflation-proof bank account. You're going to make around 5% guaranteed inside these contracts. However, minus fees. So you end up making, oops, that's not a dollar sign. You end up making between 3 and 4% net. Okay, so you have a life insurance contract that's going to get you about 3 to 4% net, above inflation, so not so terrible, except for infinite banking. They're going to tell you to take a loan against your life insurance policy, and that loan is going to cost you around 5%. You borrow your own money. You hear them say, oh, your money's working in two places because your money's in the life insurance contract making 3 to 4%. Then you can take money from it and go do something else with it. But it costs you 5%. So every single time you leverage your money out of the account or leverage the insurance company's money, you are losing 1 to 2% interest on your money. If you were going to use it to pay off debt, just go pay off debt. Don't lose 1 to 2% interest to pay off your debt. That makes no sense. But it sounds really cool to be infinite banking, bank on myself, be my own bank. However, it's a bank that will lose you money for about the next 30 years.
Mr. Sir 1965 asked, how long have y'all been doing this and how many have been successful with a long-term investment?
Well, MPI is based inside of a life insurance contract called an Indexed Universal Life Option B Max Funded. That maybe sounded weird to you, but it's a contract that was designed in, I'm going to give you a little timeline right now. So in 1999, the IUL was launched to the market mainstream. So we have 20 years of data to prove that it's a really, really good concept to have the 0% floor plus S&P 500 strategy. So we have 20 years to do it. A lot of people have been successful with it as long as you design it correctly. Unfortunately, there are some really bad IULs that aren't designed correctly and are terrible. Well, let's fast forward this. 2014, Curtis Ray, me, said, wow, this IUL is kind of cool, but it's got a bunch of problems to it. Let's go fix those problems. How do we address the increasing cost of insurance? How do we address the fees inside of it? How do we address that it's only getting around 6 to 8% rate of return? That's not quite good enough for me because I want to make the most money possible. So in 2014, my brother and I designed the feature, the RELOC, Retirement Equity Line of Credit. Through this single feature, it fixes almost every single flaw to the IUL. I say almost every because there are still some Armageddon scenarios. But through this feature of the RELOC, this IUL, which was getting around 6 to 8% rate of return, now increases it up to 15% as it matures with time. So now you can have a life insurance contract that has the guaranteed securities against market risk and has growth potential above the market. 2014, it was designed and developed. It had to go through then 2018, it was approved by compliance. The actuaries, compliance, insurance departments approved that I could begin to tell the world about what the RELOC was. And so we've been in it for about 3 years now. We started in 2014. We have some clients from 2014, but we weren't, we probably shouldn't have done that because it was just me, my family, and things like that to prove it out. 2018, we got approved to take to the public. And now since then, we have thousands of people in the system, but it's a slow and steady system. There are no get-rich-quicks, so we know what's going to happen. We have a 0% floor. We're in the S&P 500 strategy, and from that, we can project out what it's going to look like.
E-Mortgages from TikTok asked, any MPI solution for a 69-year-old with an investment of $300,000 lump sum?
For that age group, we have a thing called an MPI Family Legacy Plan. That is where you can't be the insured because you're a little too old for the system. So we're going to use surrogates, your kids, your grandkids, various people who are close to you. We can use them as a surrogate to be the life insurance holder. You own the accounts or a trust owns the accounts, and then you can put that money in, get it protected, safe, low cost, and produce pretty good retirement income very quickly.
Stephen Irvin from LinkedIn says, I like your belt. And then Dogs Bruh from TikTok asked, how do I become an MPI certified?
So I do love my Under Armour. I wear lots of Under Armour. There's reasons for that. But I am actually going to Under Armour store tomorrow to upgrade all my attire and get some new shirts and some new belts. So you're going to learn, you're going to read the books, you're going to work with clients, you're going to do all the different things to become an NPI certified advisor. At 6 months, you can apply to become an NPI certified advisor. Make sure that you demonstrate a sufficient amount of knowledge and professionalism, and that's how you get on. So if you want to have the opportunity to become NPI certified, go to my website, suncorefinancial.com, and hit the little contact us bar, and you're going to see careers. And if you go to careers, then you'll see an area where you can write in all your information and say, hey, I want to become an NPI specialist, and then convert to an NPI certified advisor.
Deputy Kane from TikTok says, so if I invest $25,000 a year at 27 years old, how long will it take to maximize my results?
Okay, so we're going to go right here to the calculator. 27 years old, putting in $25,000 a year, no lump sum, $25,000 a year annually. I'm gonna start at this at 40 years old. So in 13 years, it will produce roughly $600,000 of cash value and retirement income of around $70,000 a year. If you go 45 years, 1.1 million and roughly $126,000 of tax-free retirement income. If you go to 50 years old, $2 million of cash value. So it's all a time game. How much can you put in and how long can you let it bake? With those two elements, anyone can produce millions of dollars of wealth and six-figure retirement income. So all depends on your goals. How fast do you want it? How much do you want to put in? Let's get rocking and rolling. So time is your number one asset. Do not delay learning about compound interest and setting up a compound interest account. So meet up with an NPI certified advisor or go to the links in my bio, set up a one-on-one, and we'll get rocking and rolling on that.
Harrison Joe from Instagram asked, I have $20,000 in loan debt, although I do have $40,000 in a Roth IRA. What should I do?
All depends on the loan amount. So if you are currently having a credit card that is, we'll call it 20% interest, and you can be disciplined, are you ready in this moment right now to start a compound interest life? If you can be disciplined, you'll want to take, this is what I suggest, mathematically this is the right way to do it. Take $20,000 out of your Roth IRA, pay off your debt, and then begin to compound all the payments you were making towards that credit card into an NPI secure compound interest account. That way you're saving up to 20% interest, 24% interest on your credit cards, and then you're now compounding your life. If it's a 5% debt, that is like student loan debt or a mortgage, don't worry about that. Pay the minimums on it and continue to compound as much money as possible. So please meet up with us. We're going to break it down, look at the numbers, let math guide your decisions. All this garbage that financial future is an emotional decision, that's garbage. It is a mathematical equation. If you follow the math, you will always make your best decision. I'm here to help you make your best decision, not your most feel-good decision.
The Ryan Gibson from TikTok asks, can I pay ahead once a year or is monthly payments required?
Nope, there are 4 different ways, actually 5 different ways of putting into an NPI account. Annually, put it all up front, and then save during the year, and then all up front year 2, and so on and so forth. That's what most of the more affluent clients do, is they try to put in as much early. More time you give it, the better. Then there is biannually, you can pay it every 6 months, quarterly every 3 months, or monthly every 12 months, or you can just set your cap and then just put it in randomly. I don't recommend that one because life gets in the way and you forget, but annually or monthly are the 2 most common.
Lavsky from TikTok asked, how does your company, Suncor, make money?
We design the plans and we have a partnership with the insurance companies. So we get paid on designing the plan, setting it up, and the life insurance company has a profit share with us. So we don't charge you anything for our services. All the education, all the one-on-ones, all the videos, all the books we do, everything's available to you 100% at no cost, no obligation. The moment you do actually design a plan, we build it. The insurance company pays us to build those plans directly from our profit share, what they're going to make on the life insurance.
David Castillo from Instagram asked, what happens if someone doesn't qualify after 10 years of having an NPI account?
It is a permanent life insurance contract. So the moment it's in force, it can never be canceled by the life insurance company. There's only one person in the world that can cancel an MPI life insurance contract once it's in force, once it's been approved, and that's you, which I'm going to help you understand why that would be a terrible decision. But once it's in force and it's rocking and rolling, can never be canceled. Contractual guarantee that it will pay out to your beneficiaries when you do pass away.
F1 Nate from YouTube asked, how often can I pull out money to buy stuff, sort of say like a house or a car?
You have cash value. Your cash value is available and liquid at any moment in time. My job, we want to really watch that. We don't want to take out too much and put your policy at risk. So we put money in, but you can technically have access to your cash value at any moment in time. This is a retirement plan. So we want to focus every single effort possible is getting as much money into the system as fast as possible and then let it bake as long as possible so you have the best retirement income. But life does happen. You do want to put down payments on houses, things like that. It will be available to you.
G. Marlene from TikTok asked, I do have an investment account. What is a compound interest account?
So a compound interest account is secure. So investments accounts are kind of like compound interest accounts, but this is why they're not true compound interest accounts. This is what an investment account looks like. You probably see it's the stock market. It is going up. It is making you money. However, it's not compounding. A compound account looks like this. So in the beginning, they're really saying maybe a compound's even a little bit less than an investment account. No, there's no home run potential in a compound interest account. It's slow and steady. It builds on itself. It never goes backwards. We eliminate the risk of the traditional market. And by about year 10, we catch up. And from that point on, it's not even close. But it was slow, steady, secure, always be compounding, be disciplined, look at the future, think exponential, think long term, and a compound account will be a far better result for you when it comes to retirement planning and long-term planning.
Was Up Still in P from TikTok asked, what do you do if you have bad debt under $10,000 in savings?
If you have bad debt, all depends on the debt. If it's student loans, just pay your minimums and get money compounding. If it's your mortgage, pay your absolute minimums on a 30-year mortgage and get money compounding. If it's credit card debt at 24%, let's break it down. Let's see what needs to be eliminated immediately, but then you need to be disciplined. If we go pay off that debt, now you need to be disciplined to take the additional money that you were paying towards your credit cards and get that money compounding. So we're always going to be looking towards compounding. All depends on what the interest rate is. We break that down for you with a one-on-one with an MPI certified advisor. And we're going to build a mathematical future. We're going to let the math tell us what to do, and we're going to move forward with it.
Josh Johnson from TikTok asked, what's the difference between 100K up front and 100K in 10 years? 100K is 100K.
No, it's not, because money is compounding on compounding. So compounding is money making money making money. So for example, this is one of the most important things you can learn. I'm now going to throw something in right now. This book right here, The Lost Science of Compound Interest, explains that exact same thing right there that you just asked. I give this book to anyone free of charge. If you send me a DM right now on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, anywhere, and request this book, just send me your email address, and if you want the PDF or the audio version of it, The Lost Science of Compound Interest will explain why money, how you get it in, why time matters, and how you produce the best compound results. So if you want this book, The Lost Science of Compound Interest, send me a DM right now. I will get sent to you today and start your journey. I also have Everyone Ends Up Poor. You can also request this one if you want to read both of them. I sent out 61 copies yesterday, and I've already had 7 people reach out to me saying they've already read both books. So pretty cool, makes me feel good. But let's go to the calculator real quick. Josh Johnson, you are 30 years old. I'm just making that up. Let's just say you put in $10,000 a year. And by 50 years old, there'll be roughly $571,000 in this account. Let's just say, let's play it out for 20 years. Let's just say you put in, that's $200,000 put in, right? So now let's just put in $100,000 up front. half the money produced the same results. Why? Because of this theory of money. If you put in $100,000, it's going to double on itself roughly every 7 years. So in 7 years, it's going to be 200,000. In 7 more years, it's going to be 400,000. In 7 more years, it's going to be 800,000. All off 100,000. However, if you put in $10,000 every year, each one of these is on its own compound schedule. So this in 20, and we'll call it in 7, 14, 21, 21 years, this will be 80,000. But this one, the second contribution, will only have 19 years. So it'll be around 75,000. This will only have 18 years, which will be around 70,000, 16 years, and so on and so forth. So when you finally get there, this had way more potential because it was upfront and began its compounding immediately.
JRam4302 from TikTok asked, what are the qualifications would my child need to get an MPI account? Do I need an account before they can get one?
Yes, adult accounts come before children's accounts. The parents must have an adult account unless you don't qualify. Let's just say you couldn't qualify because of health concerns, then we can also get a compound account for your child then. But if you want one for your child, you need one first. That's a requirement by the insurance companies.
Ray Dimas from TikTok asked, I'm a teacher and I have $45,000 in my teacher retirement. Can I move it to an MPI?
All depends on what type of account is it. Was it Roth? Was it a deferred? There's a lot of different questions. So before I can answer that question, please set up a one-on-one right here. There it is, calendly.com/MPI, or go to the links in my bios on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, wherever. Send me a DM or schedule a one-on-one with an MPI certified advisor. We're going to look at what kind of plan you have, what is the accessibility without penalties and all the other problems with it, and then we will build your best compound interest account.
Kanash7 from TikTok says, I'm 50. Would you recommend something other than MPI?
Secure compound interest is for everyone. I've run tens of thousands of simulations with mutual funds, index funds, ETFs, real estate, MPI, secure compound interest. If you can give it 7 to 10 years to start maturing, then it kicks the crap out of everything. So I recommend at 50, you have plenty of time. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling. Let's build your best compound future. And MPI is, according to my data and all my research, is the best way to go.
The Ryan Gibson asked, does this still provide a death benefit like a whole life or term life policy?
Yes, so inside of MPI, there are 2 parts of it. The life insurance contract has a thing called life insurance, obviously, and it has a cash value. So when someone passes away, both these get added up. So you have your life insurance plus your cash value, and that is called your death benefit. Oops. So a lot of people say, oh, well, life insurance policies, watch out when you die, the life insurance company keeps all your cash value and gives your life insurance. That is not true. It is your life insurance plus your cash value, which is equals your death benefit. So when you die, you'll get both of those, and it basically guarantees generational wealth transfer. Another thing, guys, on my YouTube channel, I have hundreds of videos that break down most of your questions. So if you want to get lost for an hour or 2 on YouTube and really learn the science of money, the power of compound interest, how you convert your lifestyle into always be compounding, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's at Curtis Ray. Just look up Curtis Ray on YouTube, and you're going to see hundreds of videos and really take your life to next level financial freedom.
What's up, Still in P asked, do you create trusts?
We do have a trust lawyer, so we've partnered up with one of the #1 attorneys in the whole country. They've got offices in almost every single state. So when we create the MPI plans, a lot of people want to put them in trust when they have high net worth, real estate, things like that. And we do help with that process.
Scotty Jihad asked, is this the same as a LIRP, life insurance retirement plan?
Kind of. I mean, life insurance contracts are pretty cool. Unfortunately, LIRPs do not utilize the coolest feature of all features, the RELOC, Retirement Equity Line of Credit. Traditional life insurance contracts can do pretty good. They can give you guaranteed security and interest rate between 5 and 7% traditionally. which is really secure and it's growing and tax-free and accessibility and a bunch of other really good things. However, MPI has the RELOC feature, Retirement Equity Line of Credit. Through this feature, we have additional money from the life insurance company. This is a line of credit the life insurance company gives you. Open-ended, no credit checks, no fees, no underwriting, any of that stuff. And this line of credit costs 4%. The MPI system historically has made around 7%. So your money goes into the MPI system making 7%. Then the insurance company offers you a line of credit at 4%. We take this line of credit and we add it to our MPI account. Now we have double, triple, quadruple the amount of money working for us. Our money is making 7%. The RELOC is also making 7%, but it costs 4%. So it adds an additional 3% interest to our 7%, and why MPI is the only life insurance contract that has the ability to protect your money against stock market crashes and up to double-digit returns. So this RELOC feature, you got to learn it. It is the #1 feature available that takes an average life insurance contract and produces better results in the stock market.
Tom X7 from TikTok asks, what disqualifies somebody from getting an MPI account?
The big four. I'm going to name 4 things that are common. Cancer. You typically have to be cancer-free for 7 to 10 years to qualify. Extreme obesity. If you're tremendously overweight, insurance companies don't insure that. DUIs. If you have multiple DUIs or have a felony DUI, that typically will also disqualify you. And then lastly, extreme depression, history of suicide. Life insurance companies don't look favorably on that. And so those are the big 4. Away from that, diabetics, most of the time we get qualified, a lot of other things. So apply first. We're going to do our best to get you qualified and then move forward from there.
Hydra from TikTok asked, what are the penalties if you wanted to pull your money out?
Okay, so there are 2 things with penalties. One, MPI has no access penalty for any reason at any age of your cash value. So you can use your money when you see fit. However, we do it through the RELOC. We don't withdraw the money from the account because our money's making us 7%. So when we want to use money out of the account, we use the RELOC because it only costs 4%. So even after we spend money on down payments, on weddings, on education, on vacations, we can still potentially earn up to 3% interest even on the money we're spending. However, 20, 25 years from now, you're like, I'm tired of this. I just want all my money out, all that other stuff. And it will then be taxed. If you leave the life insurance contract and you cancel the life insurance contract, all your growth inside your account will then convert to like a taxation of a 401k. It will be income tax. That is a bad thing. We never want to cancel a policy. We never want to take out all the money. We want to keep our money in the policy, making around 7%, and whenever we need money, we take it out around 4%.
Sorry, give me a second.
Oh, good. I'll get a little drink.
So Call Mech asked, what's the difference between an MPI account and a 529 plan?
So 529 plans are the second worst compound accounts ever designed in the history of mankind. So I said infinite banking was the worst. 529s are the second worst. Here's why. 529s. This is just an example. If you put away $250 a month for your child, the day they're born, all the way to they're 18 years old, inside of an S&P 500 index fund or a mutual fund or something like that, there would be roughly $125,000 inside this account. Your child then takes that $125,000, goes to college, ends up debt-free. Sounds really cool, right? Terrible. Why? Because you just created a compound mountain. $125,000. This is going to convert to millions and millions and millions of dollars for your child if they let it continue to compound. So MPI does it different. Remember, this goes down to 0, and that's terrible. Inside of MPI, same thing. $250 a month. They're both inside the S&P 500, so let's just say there's $125,000 in this account. However, at this point in time, we're going to do something different. We're not going to withdraw the money. We're going to use the relock feature to go to college with. So after we use the relock feature and we go to college, we still end up debt-free. This, by 55 years old, is projected to have roughly $3.5 million in it. Through that art of your money still making 7, we can use the relock that costs 4 and let the money continue to compound and maximize every opportunity possible. Your child can be debt-free and have up to $3.5 million in cash value by their 55th birthday.
User 4199 asked, do you guys offer private placement life insurance?
I actually don't know what private placement life insurance is. I haven't heard that term before. So can't help you with that right now.
Miss Rachel asked, do you offer education to both children and parents? My son learned about this, but he's only 14.
Absolutely. So both these books are available. This one is very, very easily understood by everyone. I've had tons of teenagers read this book and completely change their life because they know things about money that most financial advisors don't know about money. So I offer this book at no charge. Anyone who wants one of these 2 books, send me a DM with your email address, and if you want the PDF or the audio copy of this book, I will send. No obligation, no cost. The only thing I ask is that you read them or listen to them. So these are really good for children and adults. Everyone ends up poor is a little bit more elementary, but if your son's already worried about his money and wants to build his best compound future, the Lost Science of Compound Interest is next level stuff. So this is a little bit more advanced. This really gets into the philosophy of money, the philosophy of compound interest, but both books are available. I also do live webinars twice a week, like here, and my website has tons of videos on it, a lot of TikTok videos that break down the simplicity of money.
All right, Sprite the Parrot. He goes, I don't understand the 30-year better than the 15-year. Can you please explain?
Yes. Yes. Okay, here's an example. 15-year mortgage. Let's just call it at 3% interest right now on a $300,000 mortgage. This will cost you roughly $2,000 a month. At the end of 15 years, you would have paid $60,000 of interest plus $300,000 of mortgage, and your house is paid off. MPI is always be compounding. How do you get the most amount of money compounding for you? If you do a 30-year mortgage at 3.25%, your monthly mortgage will be roughly $1,250. So there is a $750 difference coming out of your pocket that is going to equity rather than compounding. If we have $750, we want that money making money. Putting it in equity is dead. It does nothing for you but adds equity to your house. We want to get that money growing for us. So instead of putting all $2,000 inside the mortgage, we're going to put all this $750 inside of MPI. At the end of 15 years, at the same 15 years, you would have paid $100,000 of interest. So you're thinking, Curtis, man, an extra $40,000 interest, that's terrible. No, don't worry about that. Because this MPI account would have roughly $285,000 in it. Even after you paid the $40,000, you'd have $285,000 in it. Right now, your mortgage would be about $175,000 left on it. So you have 2 options at this point in time. Continue this process and make millions of dollars, or pay off your mortgage and still be left with $110,000 in it. So you could also have your house paid off in 15 years and have $110,000 inside your account, or just continue this process and this $285,000 will be over $1 million in less than 15 years when your house is paid off in 30 years. Always be compounding. Don't give your money to the bank ever. Give them your money as slowly as possible and get your money compounding.
David Castillo from Instagram asked, are you the only company that offers MPI?
There are about 35 MPI certified advisors across the country that are independent of me. I am the inventor of it. So I am the cheerleader, I'm the face, I know it's my baby, I'm the architect of it. So there are things I can answer that maybe some people can't because I designed it. But there are 35 different MPI certified advisors. I line you up with them. I actually don't even do appointments. I don't even build plans. That's not my mission and my passion. My passion is to educate the world on how you use compound interest to your benefit. So once you're ready, then you're going to go to www.calendly.com/MPI. We're going to receive that. We're going to send your information out to one of the MPI certified advisors. They're going to reach out to you, schedule a one-on-one, and they've been trained by me directly, and they know how these MPI systems work. So that is why you see me all the time, everywhere, is because I've been talking about this for 6 years, and now people are starting to listen. And now there's various people, I think we're in 17 different states, that you can get an MPI, you can go meet an MPI certified advisor, and pretty soon there are going to be hundreds.
RWO Buck from TikTok asked, do you advocate IUL policies?
Indexed universal lives are pretty good. Like I said, they have guaranteed security and they grow pretty well. However, they're outdated. If you get an IUL from Transamerica or who's another one, State Farm or any of those other companies, they're good products. They're good like the BlackBerry was good, but the iPhone is tremendously better. So if you go get yourself an IUL right now, just know that it is going to be outdated. It doesn't have all the features and benefits that you deserve and to maximize your compound interest. MPI is an IUL 2.0. It is the evolved version. It's not the iPhone 1, it's the iPhone 12. And so meet up with MPI. You can compare the two side by side and you're going to see the tremendous difference.
Amanda Halbin from TikTok asked, can you transfer a 403b to a compound account?
All depends. There are a lot of restrictions inside of 401ks, 403bs, 457s. We got to look at yours. If it's a Roth, there are some flexibilities. If it's not, there are some other things that can and can't be done. So schedule a one-on-one with an MPI certified advisor. He's going to look at your plan, determine what is available, what's not, build your best path. But I do recommend stop contributing to it. Set up an MPI secure compound interest account today. Even if we don't have, you don't have any access to your 403b or 457 or 401k, let that continue to compound. When you're 59 and a half, we have a lot more flexibility, but start your MPI secure compound interest account today.
Three Beans Dad asked, what sets you apart from the competitors and why aren't they doing what you do?
I invented the MPI system, so it is my baby. Most people don't understand what a RELOC is. I designed and developed the RELOC feature, which is the retirement equity line of credit on how you take an average plan and supercharge it. So just like people say, oh, why didn't someone copy Tesla? Or why does someone not produce as good as the iPhone and things like that? It's because the people who actually do it because it's their passion and their mission and not for money, that is the people you can trust to always do what's best for you and always trying to advance it. I already have MPI 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0 already in design. They're not finished yet. They haven't gone through compliance and regulatory boards, but we are already light years ahead. Just like iPhone 1, iPhone 12, we are so far advanced in front of anyone. They're trying to catch us. So you will see in the near future people start introducing the RELOC in their own plans because it's the coolest feature ever. But until then, MPI certified advisors are the only ones who can provide it because I personally certify every single advisor who is able to represent MPI.
Bearded Professional from TikTok asks, do you have an investment license?
I am a licensed retirement planner. I do not do investments. Investments mean you're putting yourself at risk. An investment, someone who's Series 6, 63, 7, 65, all of them, they have the authority to make gut decisions for you. They have the authority to just kind of go with the flow and go with the market. And when they lose, what do they say? You knew what it was. It was an investment. Sorry, it will always rebound. I don't play that game. My job is to eliminate risk from your portfolio. I do not make decisions for you. I build you a plan that is fixed. It is going to do a certain thing. It is going to move forward with security inside the S&P 500 call option, with the RELOC feature, all these different things. We build your plan so that variables and decisions don't have to be made in the future. And so I don't mess with investments. I build retirement plans.
Bonnie Wheelis from TikTok asked, can you transfer a college fund like a 529 into an NPI?
There could be penalties. I don't know a lot about the penalties inside of a 529. You're going to get penalties if you don't use it for college anyway. So like I always say, let's meet up. Let's read the fine print inside of 529s. There are more than one plan out there and different restrictions and things like that. So let's meet up right here with an MPI certified advisor at calendly.com/MPI, or go to any of the links in my bios and schedule a one-on-one. We can break it down, see what it is, and let the math guide your decisions. Math is objective. It is perfect. Don't let any other emotions get in the way from making the best financial decisions for yourself.
User 3054 asked, if you had cancer in the last year, you can't open up an MPI account. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, cancer typically takes around 7 years. Depends on what type of cancer it is. But my wife had cancer. She just hit year 7, and she was able to get herself an MPI compound account last year. And so we did have to wait that 7 years out. However, we did start them for our children and every other person that's inside my inner circle. So if you are married, we can start an MPI account for your spouse or your children or whomever that is really close to you. There are some surrogate options. And so reach out to us. Let's look at your situation. Let's see what we can do for you. But yeah, if you've had cancer in the last year, most likely you will not be able to get an MPI compound account.
Louis01 from TikTok asked, how can I transfer a TSP account to an MPI account?
Like I said, there are a lot of restrictions on government promoted options and different investment platforms, but we can look at them and see what's available. So go schedule a one-on-one with an MPI certified advisor at calendly.com/MPI. You can see it right here. Or go to the links in my bio and you can schedule a one-on-one. We're going to look at the fine print. We're going to see what is available. We never want to cross any rules. We don't want to do anything incompliant, but we will help build your best plan. Even if you don't have access to it, it's not a bad plan. It's an investment. It's just a terrible retirement plan. So we want to stop contributing to it, set up an MPI secure compound interest account, which is a good retirement plan. And then when you have access to this, we can start rolling it over without penalties. So let's build both of them. Let's see the advantage of both of them. And always be compounding means we're going to embrace everything good and always take advantage of all opportunities in front of us.
Jeremy Arvalo74 from TikTok asked, how do I start an MPI, a child MPI?
You got to meet up with an MPI certified advisor. Every single person is required to meet up with an advisor before they set up an account. We do not want you to go in these accounts until your education of what MPI is sufficient to make that decision. We're not trying to sell you anything. We want to educate you first, and then when you see the value, then you'll want to start and then you'll stay with it. A lot of people just sell products and get you in without knowing very much about it, and then you quit it, and then you lose all the different advantages that were available to you. So you do have to go through an MPI advisor first. And then from that, we'll build your account. And so go right here, calendly.com/MPI, or go to the links in my bio. We'll build one for you, for your kids. We'll show you all the different things. And like I say, you give a man a fish, he eats. You teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. And that's what we want to do, education. When your financial education meets your financial desires, those two things can produce financial freedom. You cannot have financial freedom without both of them. You need financial education to know how to make the decision. You need the desire to have the dedication and motivation and discipline to go get it. And those two things combined is how you produce financial freedom.
DBerry19 asked, what exactly is retirement income?
Retirement income is when you have your account. Let me actually show this to you. And guys, I want to say this, that we're getting hundreds of messages and we're not able to respond to all of them. So if you have a message if you have a question that I don't get to, send me a DM on any of my social media platforms, or send us an email at info@suncorefinancial.com, and I will respond to it. Just right now, we don't have a lot of time. And so here's retirement income. The goal of an MPI secure compound interest account is to build your nest egg. So let's just say you get to $1 million inside your nest egg. Let's say your MPI account has matured and is making you 12% interest per year. That means every single year, it is making on average $120,000. So you can have retirement income of up to 12% of your nest egg, which is $120,000 every single year forever. It will never run out. Why? Because we're only spending the growth. We're only going to use the growth. So we never deplete this. So when you retire at 30 years old, you can have that. You retire at 40, 50, 60. Indefinitely, it's going to produce retirement income for you. And then also remember, life insurance and cash get paid out as your death benefit. So this is another way to guarantee generational wealth transfer so that your kids can always be compounding off of your hard work. Teach them, educate them on how compound interest works, and then you have generational wealth transfer. Within 2 generations, this account has $100 million in it. That's what it takes. So teach your kids how compounding works. You start it right now. Let's get rocking and rolling. No more? Okay, I'm going to leave it one more. I'm going to give one more invitation, guys. The books. If you want one of these 2 books or both of them, I provide it on PDF and audio, free of charge, no obligation. My only expectation is you read it or listen to it. The Lost Science of Compound Interest is really in depth on how compound interest and money works. Everyone Ends Up Poor is really in depth on why the whole system is backwards. Investment platforms suck at producing retirement income, and there's a reason why almost every single American arrives to retirement and is frustrated and has to downsize. They don't get to downsize, they have to downsize because a 401k, IRA, TSP, all of them are built backwards. They're investment plans, not retirement plans. The moment you can distinguish the two and start building a retirement account, which is a secure compound interest account, you can produce financial freedom in your life. So have a great day, be great. I'm Curtis Ray, always be compounding.